Hello, Bronco fans and football fans everywhere. Welcome to Broncos Breakdown. This is a show that is everything Broncos and a show that is sports in general. I am your host, Bronco Bill. Thanks, guys, for joining me for this show. Got a lot of topics. Got some indirect Aaron Rodgers news. We got some Bronco hiring, and Hackett has gotten a new head coach, not a head coach, but gotten a new coach. He is a head coach. He's gotten a new coach. He brought him in. We'll get to that. We also have the segment, which I call the Jackass of the Week. So let's get started, guys. All right, here we go. We're going to start out with Chris Beek. Now, Chris Beek is a former Broncos coach. I believe is assistant to line coach. He is now being hired by the Los Angeles Rams. So the coaching carousel continues involving the Rams. O'Donnell went to the Vikings. We have gotten several Rams coaches. We got Ejiro Alvaro. We also have Dwayne Stukes and Marcus Dixon. Now the Rams are taking Chris Beek from the Broncos. He's going to the Rams. Now I say that's great. That's great. I'll take 3-1 odds all day long. Absolutely, I will. Especially coming from a Rams team that just won the Super Bowl. Now, whenever you can strip an organization or a team or a franchise after coming off of a championship and rebuild your team, that's a good thing. That's a really, really good thing. I'm excited about the coaches that we've gotten. I really am excited. I don't know too much about what Beek did in Denver, but that's beside the point now because he's no longer a Denver Bronco a coach. So that doesn't bother me. So I just wanted to throw that out there, though, that even though the Broncos are stripping the Rams, so to speak, of their coaches, the Rams also, took one of ours. So ticky-tack, trade for trade, but not really because I'll take the 3-1 odds all day long. All right, now that brings me to Tom Clements. Now the Packers, this is interesting. This is where it involves Aaron Rodgers. Like I said, indirectly. Tom Clements, the Packers have brought back longtime coach Tom Clements as their team's quarterback coach. Aaron Rodgers has credited Clements for Rodgers' development as a quarterback. Reason why I say this is indirectly involves Aaron Rodgers, well, it also directly involves with many teams seeking Aaron Rodgers as their quarterback. That includes the Denver Broncos, among others. Now, Aaron Rodgers, he's I guess you call him a free agent. Packers are not willing to trade him. They want to keep him. So obviously they brought back Tom Clements in order to sway Aaron Rodgers to stay on the Packers. Rodgers holds the key here, guys. He can pull the trigger anytime he wants. He said he was going to hold out last year, and he didn't. He went back for the money. And eventually he got the league's MVP back-to-back. He controls the Packers. I know there's a lot of Packer fans out there that want to hear that, but it's true. He holds the keys to where he wants to go. But the Packers are doing everything they can to keep him. And by bringing back Clements, they're hoping that Rodgers says, okay, I'll stay. I'll stay for another year. I'll do what I can. But the thing is, if Aaron Rodgers is looking for and seeking for another Super Bowl championship, in my opinion, he's not going to get it from the Green Bay Packers. And first and foremost, because they don't have the revenue, the money to be able to keep everybody. Aaron Rodgers is going to demand at least 30 mil above, 25, 30 mil, somewhere around there a year. And they also have Devontae Adams who they need to retain. Now, they could franchise tag him, sure. Absolutely, they could. But that locks up money. And Aaron Rodgers wants to win another championship. He wants to go out on top like John Elway did and like Peyton Manning did. Well, guess what, guys? Where did that happen? That happened in Denver. Now, here's a twist that I want to throw out to you guys. I want to see if you guys will respond to this in the comment line. And here it is. Should the Denver Broncos use whatever means they have, and I mean, I'm talking about George Paton here. Should George Paton not necessarily mortgage the farm, but dangle the proverbial carrot in front of the horse, no pun intended, because it's no pun intended. Should George Paton offer this coming year's 2022 first round draft pick, second round draft pick, 2023's first round draft pick, second round draft pick, and cash, not players, but cash, of which the Broncos have, to the Packers for Aaron Rodgers? If that can happen, guys, I say do it. And here's why. We won't lose a Jerry Jeudy. We won't lose a Noah Fant. We won't lose a Cortland Sutton, heaven forbid. And we won't lose any key players that Aaron Rodgers could potentially have on this team. If we have to involve draft choices and or players, Broncos lose, in my opinion, because Rodgers will lose players. He will lose weapons. And that's not what Rodgers wants. Rodgers wants to go to a team that's loaded and ready to go to the Super Bowl, not only get there, but win it. And in my opinion, that's why the Packers are pulling out all the stops to keep a Rodgers, because they don't want him to get away. They don't know where he may end up. He could end up in Chicago, not saying it's going to. I'm just throwing it out there. As a Packer organization, of course they don't want him in their own division. They don't even want him in the NFC. I don't think they want him in the AFC. They want him in Green Bay. I get that. But I'm just saying, if we offer a first and second in 2022, a first and second in 2023, and money for Rodgers on a 2-year contract with incentives, do you think George Paton should make that deal? I say yes. What do you guys say? Just a thought. But like I said, the Packers are doing everything they can to keep Rodgers in Green Bay. All right, I move on. Andrew Carter. Now, this is interesting. This is really, really interesting to me, because Andrew Carter is not an NFL name. He's not a household name. He's not an NFL coaching name. Why? Because he's never been in the NFL before as a coach. Now, Nathaniel Hackett has hired Andrew Carter to be a defensive quality control coach. This is Carter's first NFL coaching role. His last 2 seasons have been as a graduate assistant at the University of Kansas. He also coached at the high school level before working at Eastern Illinois at Hampton University. He will be under Evero and Dom Capers as he begins life in the NFL. What? Hackett, what are you doing? I don't understand this hire. I really don't. I know that you've undoubtedly seen things that you feel he can be an asset to the Broncos. I'm just trying to figure out how being a high school coach and a graduate assistant at the University of Kansas, and then working at Eastern Illinois at Hampton University prepares him to be a quality control coach for the Denver Broncos. I don't get the connection between that. I really don't. I know I'm missing something. Obviously, I am. Obviously, I'm missing something. But I know that that's why Hackett is the head coach and I'm not. But it just boggles my mind or confuses me as to why you would take a first time ever in the NFL coaching ranks to be your quality control coach. Quality control of what? I know the defense, but if a person's never been at that level, and I know that there's always a first time for every job that somebody gets. I understand that. But the NFL level, I mean, that's like the elite of the elite. I mean, high school's down here. I mean, you can barely see it on my screen. It's like way down here. And now you bring him up to way up here? I don't know. I don't understand. Hopefully it works out. Absolutely, I want it to work out. You know I do. But this hiring really, I don't know. I don't understand, like I said, this particular hiring. Now, he's not directly the defensive coach. I get that. He's a defensive quality control coach. But I don't know what that means. I mean, obviously, he's going to be under Evero and under Dom Capers. So, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's to give him experience. Maybe Hackett sees something in him that he could elevate down the road. Maybe next year, the year. I don't know. It just seemed really, really strange when I came across that article. And I just had to put it in this video because I just don't. I don't understand it. I just don't understand the hiring. But because we have a Evero and we have a Dom Capers, I know he's going to learn under two fantastic minded head coaches. And for that, maybe like I said, maybe Hackett sees something in Carter that Carter can learn from Evero and from Capers, and then he can elevate his experience, and then he can move on and he can move up in the ranks. Maybe that's the reason. But in any case, like I said earlier, it just boggled my mind, kind of confused me, kind of threw me a loop. But that's okay. That's okay. And that's why I'm not the head coach or the general manager. That's why. That's all I can say. That's why. And probably a whole lot of other reasons too, because I've never been a head coach in high school. So I guess that doesn't qualify me to be in the NFL. All right. I move on. Let's go to Byron Allen. Now, Byron Allen is planning to bid for the Denver Broncos. Now, if you don't know who Byron Allen is, he owns a multitude of network televisions, network stations, channels, things of that nature. He's a multi-billionaire, and he is planning to bid for the Denver Broncos. And if he succeeds, he would be the first black owner of an NFL team in the history of the NFL. Now, he appeared on CBS Sunday Morning this past week and announced that he is putting in a bid to own the Broncos. Allen has built his company from the ground up with hard work and determination. He said in that interview that he built his entrepreneurship brick by brick. His grandfather built a bowling alley that he described in that video, brick by brick. He learned through his grandparents and through his parents that hard work, perseverance, determination, and never giving up, you can achieve greatness, even as a minority, even as an African American in this country, to rise to heights that's never been seen before in the Black community. Should Byron Allen become the first African American owner of an NFL team, would be not only remarkable, but because he has done and built his entrepreneur basically from the bricks, one brick at a time, one by one, not giving up, tells me that he would have that same drive, that same passion, that same energy that Pat Bowlen had for the Denver Broncos. He hasn't let any of his other businesses or interests or ownership of these other stations and these other networks go by the wayside. No, he's paid attention to them because, and he even said in the interview, he is not going to sell any of them because he wants them as collateral. He wants them as leverage. He wants them as motivation. Is this a person that I feel would destroy the Broncos as an owner? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He hasn't destroyed anything that he's owned now. Why would anyone think that he would purposely destroy the Broncos? That would be insanity. That would be foolish. That would do everything against what he has already built. The guy is 60 years old. When he was young, he mentioned in that video, when he was young, he would sit in front of his desk and talk to an imaginary CEO. Why? Because he wanted to move up. He wanted to make something out of his life. He wanted to create something that the Black community, the Black person, the minority, the African American has not achieved or is hard to achieve in America. And he has done this, like I said, basically from the bootstraps up. And like I mentioned, he is not going to, or hasn't, and it doesn't intend to sell off or ruin any of the entrepreneurship of the businesses that he's already created. So why would he do that as owner of the Broncos? Why? He wouldn't. He absolutely wouldn't. Do I welcome Byron Allen as the owner of the Broncos? Absolutely. Why not? If his heart, mind, and energy and passion is in ownership of an NFL team, just like the drive, energy, and passion of all the other businesses that he has created and continues to build on and continues to expand. Why would he change now? He wouldn't. In my opinion, he wouldn't. And here's the other thing, guys. Think about this. If you have a corporation owned or corporation owned team, they're not going to be as involved as a person. And I believe that Byron Allen would have a hands-on interest, just like he's had a hands-on interest in all his other businesses, his other ventures, his other television stations, networks. Why would this be different? Why? It wouldn't. And so I am going to go out there and say, I welcome a Byron Allen owned Denver Bronco team. Absolutely. Absolutely. Has nothing to do with color, has nothing to do with race, has everything to do with where the Broncos would be and the continuation of a Pat Bowlen owned Broncos team would basically continue under a Byron Allen ownership. I firmly believe that. Firmly believe it. He loves the Denver Broncos. He loves Colorado. I know he grew up in Detroit, but he loves the Broncos and he loves Colorado. Why would that desire change? To me, it would not. So I'm hoping it goes through. I don't know. I haven't heard anything other than just what I said. But since he's interested, that's really great for the future of the Denver Broncos, in my opinion. All right. Let's go to 3 Los Angeles Rams free agents that could follow Evero to the Denver Broncos. And those 3 names are, one of them is currently on the Broncos as a free agent. He's currently on the Broncos. And like I said, these are 3 free agents that could follow Evero and or stay in the Bronco organization. First one is Darius Williams, cornerback, Los Angeles Rams free agent. Now, we don't know what's going to happen to Bryce Callahan. He's a free agent as well. If Denver decides not to pick up his salary, or I should say, re-sign him to the Broncos, Darius Williams would be in line to come to Denver. Now, Darius Williams is a top cornerback in the NFL. Top cornerback in the NFL. Should he come to Denver, that would absolutely be not a boost. It would be absolutely an asset for sure. Absolutely be an asset. I would welcome a Darius Williams. What's it going to cost? I don't know. But Denver has the collateral. Denver has the means to sign this guy. So keep your eye on Darius Williams. And should I hear any news down the road, I'll definitely bring this to you. Second one is Sebastian Joseph Day, defensive lineman. Now, Denver does need defensive help. We know that with Bradley Chubb, injury prone. Excuse me, guys. We definitely need a very solid defensive line guy. And I think that Sebastian Joseph Day would definitely be an asset. Again, I don't know what his contract would entitle. I don't know how much money he's looking for, but we definitely could use defensive lineman help. Now, the last one is linebacker Kenny Young. Now, he's a free agent, but he was on the Broncos last year for 6 games. I think Broncos will be well served to bring back Kenny Young. Sign him to a 2-3-year deal, incentives, whatever it takes. Keep Kenny Young because he knows Evero. He played for the Rams for most of the season before he was traded to the Broncos and played 6 games. I say keep Kenny Young. Absolutely. Like I said, he knows Evero. Evero knows him. I think that would be a great, great move to keep a Kenny Young. So we'll find out, guys. Like I said, when I find out any information on either Williams, Joseph Day, or Young, I'll bring it to you in the upcoming videos. All right. Now, that brings me to my segment. Okay, guys, here we go. The Jackass of the week. Okay, guys, there's no surprise as to who the Jackass of the week should be this week. Now, a little over a week ago was Super Bowl 56. And following Super Bowl 56, on the following Wednesday, the Los Angeles Rams had a parade. Now, we all know that in the parade, the players are drinking and they're partying, they're having a good time on the party bus, on top of the double-decker bus, whatever. Then they go to an area where there's a staging area. And they take pictures and they do speeches and they kind of high-five, fans, people around. They do whatever. It's basically a free-for-all. It's kind of like a frat party on steroids. Well, when you are the Super Bowl champion quarterback, you should have a little bit more class. Now, if you all recall last year, Tom Brady was on his personal yacht and he threw the Lombardi trophy to Gronkowski across the river. Thank goodness Gronkowski caught it. And everybody kind of laughed. That was a good time. Ha, ha, ha. No real harm. No real foul. No injuries. Stupid. Yes, stupid. Jackass move of last year. Well, we have another jackass move from a Super Bowl celebration. Well, Matthew Stafford is this year's Super Bowl jackass of the week. Here's what happened. I know you guys, most of you guys should probably already know this, but I'm going to bring in my take on it. Now, Kelly Smiley, a photographer for the Rams, fell off the stage and broke her spine, and her cameras were also broken. Matthew Stafford, okay, let me back up a little bit. Okay, so they're on the stage. There's a lot of people. They're talking. They're high-fiving. And people, photographers are on the stage that are, Ram photographers, and they're taking pictures, they're taking video, for their articles. And Kelly Smiley is on the corner of the stage, and she steps backwards, apparently not realizing that she was on the edge of the stage. She falls backwards. I don't know what it could have been, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 feet. I don't know. But she fell backwards, hit her back on the ground or someone or something, broke her spine. Both of her cameras were destroyed. And Matthew Stafford turns and does this and walks away. His wife, also named Kelly, not obviously the same person, she looks horrified, bends down, looks, she kind of scrambles down towards the edge of the stage to try and assist when other people on the ground are helping Kelly Smiley because of her injuries. And then Matthew Stafford walks away, takes a sip of water, says, and that's all you see, and he walks away. Really? Really? Hey, Matthew, let me say something to you, dumbass. You are the Super Bowl reigning champion quarterback. And you turn your back on a person that's a photographer for the Rams, and you turn your back, say, oh my God, and that's it? Take a sip of water, walk away, and let your wife basically be the, quote, man, the one wearing the pants, taking charge, being concerned, and all you're concerned about is, oops, let me turn my back. Let me take a sip of water. Let me go talk to these guys because I don't want to get involved. I don't care if you are freaking drunk or not. You do the right thing. You man up. You've got kids looking up to you. You've got young students in high school. Pop Warner looking up to you as a role model. And that's what you give them? You give them that type of a role model? No. Absolutely pathetic what you did. Lack of respect for a human being, a person that is injured. Yes, injured. Broke her freaking spine. Injured. And you turn your back on that person. What if it was your wife? What if your wife fell and somebody else was on stage and they turned their back? Wouldn't you be pissed? Wouldn't you be upset? Wouldn't you be angry? Wouldn't you call them out? Yes, you would. Well, maybe you wouldn't, because you obviously didn't do it for a person you know really well, in Kelly Smalley. Matthew, you're a disgrace. Absolutely disgrace to the NFL, to humanity, to your wife. No doubt. You are a disgrace to everything related to what the NFL stands for. You've got players on your team that are charity, that work for charity organizations, that are there for people who are less fortunate than you. That maybe there's charities that involve children's hospitals. There's charities that involve homeless people. You turn your back on them? Maybe you do. Maybe you do. You know, I had a lot more respect for Matthew Stafford for everything that he had to endure in Detroit, and then going to the Rams and winning a Super Bowl. Guess what? You destroyed it. Not that I'm a Rams fan by any means. Not that I'm a Matthew Stafford by any means. Absolutely not. But what little I did admire from you is gone. I know you made an apology. I know you said you're going to pay for medical bills. I know you're going to, you're going to buy her cameras back. Of course you are, because you were caught on video. That's the only reason. That's my opinion, guys. You can like it if you want. You don't have to. But to me, Matthew Stafford, like I said before in previous videos, you don't want to be my jackass of the week, because I will bring it hard, I will bring it truthful, and I will bring it honest. Congratulations, Matthew Stafford. You reached another new low. Jackass of the week. All right. I'm going to end this video with a not a little fun thing, but an interesting one. The Pepsi commercial has announced that they are no longer going to sponsor the Super Bowl halftime shows, yet they will still be a sponsor of the NFL. Now, the next sponsor for halftime show is going to have to pay close to 40 to 50 million to sponsor the show. People say, well, man, that's only 15-minute, 20-minute show. That's a lot of money to sponsor a halftime show for 15 to 20 minutes. Well, that could be true. However, when you realize that they're reaching millions of viewers, plus people are going to be talking about the halftime show, people are going to go back to YouTube and watch it again. There's going to be people buying the product, or whoever goes into, like when Pepsi, people are going out buying Pepsi products, possibly, going out and buying these entertainers CDs, or downloading their videos or whatever. So it's a lot of money to be recouped for being the sponsor of the halftime show. Now, it's been rumored that maybe Amazon or AT&T may step in and fill that role that Pepsi company is pulling out. Now, there has not been a reason as to why Pepsi is not sponsoring the halftime show anymore. I don't know. I can't say that it's because of this past halftime show. I don't have any proof on that. I don't know what the reason is. They didn't say. But I found it interesting that Pepsi would relinquish their sponsorship. I don't know if a contract was up. I don't know if the NFL wanted more money. I don't know any of the parameters or any of the reasons behind it. I just found it interesting, not so much that Pepsi was not going to be the sponsor of the halftime show anymore, but more along the lines of what it would cost to be the sponsor of the halftime show. So if Amazon or AT&T put a bid in to be the sponsor of next year's and the years following Super Bowl halftime, they got to fork up 40 to 50 million to give to the NFL. Doesn't sound like a lot when you're talking billions to own the Denver Broncos, like 4 or 5 billion or 4 billion to own the Broncos. 40 or 50 million doesn't sound like a lot. But I can guarantee you I don't have 40 or 50 million that I can just give away. That's for sure. So we'll find out who's going to be the sponsor of next year's halftime show. But thought it was interesting that Pepsi Company has pulled out and will no longer sponsor the NFL's Super Bowl halftime show. That's it, guys. That's all I have. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And remember, please watch on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. on YouTube, the Broncos Breakdown featuring me, Bronco Bill, and also on Wednesday, 4, 5, 6, and 7 Pacific, Mountain, Central, and Eastern time. You can catch Broncos Breakdown on the MHRT network every Wednesday, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we will talk to you next Tuesday at this exact same time. Thanks a lot, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.